Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I made it right on time, even a little bit early. Thank you guys for coming out. I do see Mudhorn Station. Thank you for coming. Pirates of the Galaxy, welcome. Pirates. Jeff Jabalong, thank you for coming. Good morning from the sunny side. Yeah, it is, huh? Sun's just starting to go down over here a little bit. It's morning over here too. I think it's about another 4 hours at least before any sun. Okay. Ian. Okay, Ian. That's Ian Sweeney, right? That's right. That's the name of your station, Mudhorn. And Battery Bob, how you doing? Hello, all good choices on that poll. It was hard to pick just one. Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of the topic for the night, Bob. I think we're going to kind of, after we go through the news, we kind of got to go through the normal routine. We'll have a little discussion about some of those new media coming out later this year. So thank you for voting. If you have, if you were here last 2 weeks ago, the last live stream, first time I've ever used this poll, this tool. So I thought I would try it again. We'll leave it up until we get to the discussion, just to see. You know, some people probably might pop in just to vote and take off, but everyone's vote counts. I think I know who's going to win. But we'll see. We'll see. I think trailers for all of these are out right now. That was one of the reasons I decided to choose them. Is I recently watched the Tron trailer, I think yesterday or the day before, and there was a new Superman one. I've been following the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four pretty close, and then this week, Underworld looks fantastic, and Andor's starting any day now, I think later this month. All right, so we'll leave that up. Thank you guys for coming. Another Tron movie is news to me. That's cool. Yeah, check out the trailer, Jeff. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. You know, visually, Tron always looks stunning. And this trailer, same thing. So yeah, check it out after the stream. Don't leave just yet. But yeah, so that's probably going to be a little bit later. First, welcome back to the channel. Again, thank you guys for coming. Can't do the show without you. And it's been 2 weeks, so there's a little bit of news. Not a lot of news, but there is some news. I pulled out a few things that I wanted to talk about. And of course, if I miss anything, there's always, when I wrap it up, that we can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Just leave it in the chat here, or if you're catching on the replay, drop it in the comments, and maybe we'll talk about it next time, or we'll talk about it right in the comments. If there are any 375 Superman figures coming out, they'll be garish cheap plastic with Supes wearing armor and possibly a rocket launcher. Maybe we're going to talk about that. But yeah, that's a very good possibility. So before we get to the news, kind of do what I usually do. I'm going to talk about the last 2 weeks here on my channel. I didn't do too much last week, but this week I did drop 3 videos. I decided I did this way out of order. I did I wanted to show you guys the newest Acid Rain army that I built, and I called it the 88s. I actually have them all still sitting right there. I wanted to take them outside and shoot them. I just haven't had time. But I did do a video on that army. And while I did that army, I mentioned, oh, well, I built this army. And then when I was done with that video, I thought, why don't I just do a video on those other armies? So I did. And so that was the second video, was other armies that I've built, I guess, from the end of last year into this year. And, army is a very, it depends on, how many you believe an army is, or a squad, or a fire team. We've talked about that before. But those are kind of the armies that I've built. And then I also posted my haul for the month of March. And like I said, I kind of did those out of order. I did the haul first, but I posted the other ones first, just because of how I edited them. And of course, I finished that haul video, and then my Joy Toy April O'Neil and Master Splinter showed up. And then I also had the Streets of Tatooine showed up. So they didn't make the video. They'll be in the next haul. But those did show up like the day after I shot that video. But rather than go back and re-edit and add, I'm just going to put it onto the next video. But I'm letting you guys know I did get the April and the Master Splinter. I think Pirates, I know someone else has probably got those too. But yeah, so that was kind of the last 2 weeks, 3 videos. I don't know how I'm going to do the next 2 weeks. My mother-in-law is staying with us for my wife's birthday is coming up, and it's a little harder to shoot videos when there's other people in the house. Our last night, the niece actually stayed here too, so it was like a girls' slumber party. So I haven't been able to shoot any more videos, but I think I'm going to do. I've got a couple in mind. One is like a side quest build that I've done of figures, like I guess an army build, but not really an army, but a side quest. That's what I'm calling it. A little squad that I built out. I think I'm going to do a video on those. And then I've been meaning to, for a long time, do a video on the Mezco 5 Points animated Batmobile from the animated series. I've been meaning to do that video, and I just keep putting it off. I'm going to try to do it. We'll see what happens. I've said that before, but hopefully I can do it this time. And then when I did my last one of the army build videos, Mater 3225. I don't know if Mater's going to show up tonight. Bjorn, welcome. What's up, losers? Any animated Batman stuff is welcome. Yeah, it looks really good. Hopefully I can do it. I keep putting it off. But Mater 3225, I don't know if he's going to show up tonight. He left a comment on one of my videos that he'd like to see some of my top figures right now. So I always struggle with like doing a end of the year, like top 10 and all that. I always feel it's a little stressful, but I thought maybe if I just say, here's 6 or 7 of my favorite figures right now that I'm playing with, that I'm posing, that I'm, that might be a little bit easier to do. So I'm going to try to do that one too. So I got 3 ideas. Hopefully I can get all 3 of them out, at least one. But it's going to be a little tough this week with, life. So we'll see. So please keep an eye on the channel. I do appreciate all you guys watching and commenting. I know Bjorn, he left a comment. I just uploaded a video, and it barely just uploaded, and he left a comment. And I know Bob, you left a comment yesterday. So thank all of you guys for doing that. I do appreciate it. And I do try to respond to everyone. All right, so that's the last 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks, and now we're going to talk about the news. Again, if I leave something out, just let me know. This was kind of the stuff that I noticed and kind of the commentary that I wanted to go down. So let me just share my screen. Let's get this started. I know that's why you guys come. You don't really come for me, right? It's for the news. Talk about it. We want to do this one. Okay, here we go. All right, so when we left 2 weeks ago, the March Madness poll had come to a head. It was Mara Jade versus Ventress. I had a poll up here in our chat, and Ventress won. But in the overall March Madness poll, you could see the voting there. 1,621 votes for Mara Jade. And Ventress got 803, so that's over 2,000 votes. 2,300 or so votes. Or no, I'm sorry, 1,600 total. 1,621 total. Yes, yeah, you're right, Bjorn. So for all the guys that were, they were sad on Tuesday that Ventress didn't win. They actually won because the very next day, they they announced Ventress on the Hasbro live stream. So I did vote for Mara Jade. It's a funny thing, and I think I mentioned this last week. Those are like two of my favorite characters, Ventress and Mara Jade. And there's a handful of figures that I would pick over Ventress. Mara Jade happens to be one of them. And so that was actually a really tough choice for me. But in the end, Mara Jade, she won the poll, but Ventress won the where it counts, right? And she got her figure announced and put up for pre-order. Now, I know when we talked about this last time, a lot of you guys, and I was with you, we're hoping for a different version of Ventress, maybe the Bad Batch version, maybe the Night Sister version, the later seasons of Clone Wars, but they are giving us the Clone Wars movie and the early Ventress version. I think because they've given us Dooku, and this outfit that she's in was more when she was Dooku's apprentice, rather than those other versions where she was a bounty hunter or she was just a Night Sister. So I think that was their thinking, because we finally got a good Dooku. So now they're going to give us his apprentice. And it looks really good. It looks like a really good figure. Ian says, I have only read 3 EU books, and that was in the past few years, though I'm not averse to reading more. Yeah, no, EU is awesome. Pre-orders for those new Star Wars are already sold out on Amazon. Wow, okay. Didn't know that. I remember I recommended Lost Stars. Oh, really? Okay. That's a good one. I'm pretty sure I have that one. I don't remember it. I'd have to look. But let's see. So we got Carson Teva, which we thought we were going to get, right? We got Carson Teva. And Ian, I think it was you that last week said, or 2 weeks ago said, I hope they don't put it on that Luke X-Wing buck. And they didn't. What do you know? Hasbro did the right thing. All new sculpt, all new body, it looks like. They did it. They actually did what I think we wanted. They gave us a brand new buck. They didn't recycle the X-Wing Luke like they've been doing. But I suppose they'll come back in stock later. Yeah. Yep. They did it, and now we are more than halfway. Porkins, yeah, and that's a good point. They can leverage this dad bod. We'll call it a dad bod that Carson Teva has into another character. Yeah, and even give us the a Carson Teva without the jacket, a Porkins. I'm sure there's somebody else I'm not thinking of. But definitely good that they didn't try to recycle that old buck. They gave us a new one. Hasbro, when they, sometimes they do it okay. Sometimes they do it right. Not all the time, but they did this time. We got the Land Speeder. We did get the Land Speeder, and it looks pretty good. Sorry, these aren't in order the way I wanted them. We did get the Land Speeder. It looks really good. It does come with the rifle, just like we thought. Comes with a deluxe Tatooine Luke. It was fun seeing how excited Paul. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That's got to be so cool to get your own figure like that. But we did get the Land Speeder. It comes with a deluxe Luke. And again, kind of just like the Carson Teva, I do feel like this Luke, with the added items, the soft goods, the hat, it comes with an extra like binoculars, right? Or something like that, or a comm link. This does feel a little bit more deluxe. Soft goods, lower body. Some of those deluxe figures that we've gotten recently haven't really felt deluxe. I feel like this is closer to a deluxe figure because of the added accessories, in particular the soft goods. How do you guys feel about that? Deluxe Luke was the only logical figure that they could include. Yeah, see, I thought they might throw in a Sand Trooper, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense to have the Luke. It's a really good Luke, and I think it's made even better with the soft goods add-ons. You know, it gets sit down easier. The tunic is really nice. He's got the bucket hat now. I think it feels it does feel more deluxe. Um, I guess the one kind of thing I don't like though, and I know that why they do this, if they release this first, I probably don't buy that single card Luke that I already have. Now I'm going to end up with two of these guys, and I don't really need the other one now once I have this one. And I know why they do that. I want you to buy it twice. And I get it. It's a business. But in a perfect world, they would have led with this, and we would have never needed really that single carded version. We did because it was an original figure on the small card. But I'm not a completionist. And in fact, with all the things that are going on, we're not going to talk about everything. I am trying to save a little bit of money here and there where I can. And that's one figure I probably would have not got if I could have just got this first. It's the way it is. I've already customized my Farm Boy Luke. Might just swap the legs from this one to him. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right. And then we also got a repack of Dengar. And I was thinking about this when they posted this because the figure is a bit dated now, right? He's got the swivel hips and kind of got the old school ankle, but they redid his head or his face, new card back. What I was thinking was when this figure first came out in Vintage Collection 1.0, and I know some of you guys, you've been collecting as long as I have. This figure, head sculpt, face sculpt, was considered like one of the best they had ever done. But that was a good, 15 years ago. So it will be interesting. I've seen some pictures of the new one and the old one side by side. But I do remember when that one came out, everyone was so like, wow, this is such a good Dengar. This is such a great face sculpt. The best Dengar they've ever made. And it really still is. I guess this would take its place now. Same accessories, it looks like. But we've come a long way since that figure first came out. And for me, this face print I actually have two of these, one mint on card and one opened. It's not enough for me to buy this figure another time. I don't have Dengar, so it's a must get for me. Yep, perfect. I don't have Dengar except for the vintage Kenner, so I'm good with this release. Yeah, okay, that's great. Yeah. The OG Bounty Hunters should always sell well. They should. My hope is for Zuckuss next. Yeah. Bossk, Forlom, Zuckuss. We've already got. Don't we? We have Empire Boba Fett. Yeah. So it's a good choice. I personally just don't need it. I think I might get one just to compare it with the other one because, like I said, I do have the other one. But I won't open it, and I don't think my son. I'm going to get a second one for my son, so I am probably going to get one, but I'm probably not going to open it. But it's a good figure. It's definitely of its time, but it's still. I think the sculpt and the paint and accessory wise, he's got everything that he needs. Right? He's got everything he needs. So yeah, I think it was some good offerings. Oh, we forgot Agent Kallus. This was probably the one I was most excited for. I almost just forgot it. Any predictions for Celebration? I don't have any yet. I don't know. It's weird. The Underworld trailer dropping, that for me, that was kind of out of the blue. Um, I have no idea what they're up to right now. I don't know what Lucasfilm is doing. There's such a backlog of figures in for Vintage Collection that they need to do. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, if anybody has any predictions, drop them in there. Let's talk about it. Um, let's see here. So Agent Callus from Rebels. It's nice that they're giving us another Rebels figure. Kind of long overdue. Drop these figures for the version and imagine what they're going to reveal. That's true. That's true. We're going to talk a little bit about that here, right here. I'm almost there, Bjorn, because this, Agent Callus, Ventress, Carson Teva, and then we had the Dengar repack, the Land Speeder. This was a very good Hasbro Pulse or Hasbro reveal. One of the best ones that they've had. There's really not a stinker in the bunch here, I don't think. A lot of new, right? A lot of new. Dengar's really the only thing that's kind of a repack. I know they're leveraging Callus's legs here from the Imperial Officer. Perfect place to do some reuse. I ordered 2 Callus. Yeah, I grabbed a couple too. The downside to Callus figures, the helmet. Yes, that's a good point. That's the only flaw I see with this. The helmet does look a bit big, doesn't it? We'll see when we have it in hand. It does look a little bit large. It does. The strongest wave in a while. It does. They, again, I said this last time, they did a really good job of mixing, giving us figures from different media. We've got some New Hope. We've got Carson Teva from Mando and Ahsoka. We got Ventress from Clone Wars. We got Agent Callus from Rebels. They threw in Dengar from Empire. They really touched on everything. It wasn't all, it wasn't all one thing. But what the problem is when they keep doing this, they're not really like finishing out any teams, I guess it's just how they're spreading it out. But it was a really good show. All of them are really good. I think for me, the Agent Callus and the Ventress were probably the top. I did grab a Land Speeder, and I did grab a Carson Teva. And so now I want to kind of segue here. The original release in the Rebel Saga line was perfect size helmet, but sadly not removable. Okay, I never got that figure. The helmet's going to be good for customs. Yeah, it will be. But the helmet looked big in the cartoon too, I think. It might have. I have to go back and look at that. But I feel like this show that they did, there was a lot of, how did I write this? I was trying to write my thoughts here. There was a lot of goodwill and fun. People were really happy, after this reveal. I think for the first time in a while, people were pretty happy with the pre-order. They put up figures that most of us all wanted, or some combination, and then they were going on pre-order the very next day. And so this is my commentary here. This is the problem, and it wasn't Hasbro, so I'm not blaming Hasbro, not blaming anyone really. But there was just tons of confusion with the prices the next day. If you were right there, which I usually try to be, when it comes up for pre-order, I try to be right there because I've missed stuff in the past. And so if it says it's going on pre-order at 9 a.m., at 8:59, I'm right there waiting for it to come up. Sentinel, welcome, Sentinel. Currently rewatching Rebels, just finished the 2-part Twilight of the Princess. Oh, cool. Cool. But the price confusion, the next day is where I was going with this. It sort of took away some of the fun and the goodwill from the day before. And Amazon had priced their figures at $24.99, the Black Series price. When I saw that, I was super disappointed, but I pre-ordered a couple of them. Not as many as I would. I decided not to get Carson Teva. I decided not to get Dengar. I got Callus. I got Ventress at $24.99, and I thought, well, I'm going to get them, but I'm not going to get as many. And I left a comment on Yakface, and people said, oh, it's probably a typo, probably messed up. And then Yakface posted this. So I'm trying to tell you guys how it kind of happened chronologically in order, so you could see my thoughts. And Yakface posts this saying that it looks like online retailers have raised their prices. So I assume that was the price now, that they raised the price on the vintage collection to $24.99. I was pretty shocked, pretty disappointed. And first thing I thought was, man, this will probably be the end of the line because it's just too expensive, for a single figure Star Wars if it's the same price as Black Series. And so I canceled my Amazon orders at $24.99 because someone said on Pulse they're still $16.99. So I went to Pulse and I ordered on Pulse, as I got the Landspeeder as well. But I could see the comments rolling in. Entertainment Earth was charging, I think, $17.99 of figures. They were $1 more. Big Bad raised it $2, I'm pretty sure, or the opposite. Entertainment had it $2 more than Big Bad, and so on. And then Amazon had them at $24.99. So there was all these different prices, but on Pulse the prices were the same. So that's where I ended up ordering. Many hours later, Amazon corrected their prices. And when they did, I went back to Amazon and I ordered Carson Teva and I ordered Dengar from Amazon, but I left my order with Pulse because I ordered from Amazon, canceled from Amazon, bought from Pulse, then saw Amazon corrected the price, but I didn't want to cancel the Pulse one and go back, just canceling and starting orders. So there was all this confusion. And again, it wasn't Hasbro's fault. It's everyone is raising prices. But Pulse didn't, and Amazon didn't, but Big Bad, it looked like Entertainment Earth did. And it's just, like I said, it kind of took away the goodwill from the day before. But it all got sorted out. But when I saw this on Yakface, he says here, Pulse fan channel, they've raised the prices. So I thought the $24.99 when I read that was legit. 59 EK, 69 EK. Yeah. So everyone's trying to get an extra buck. Everyone's trying to take $1 off the top. Luckily, Hasbro Pulse, they don't charge you now until it ships. So it's a bit like using Big Bad. And if you order enough, it's free shipping. So that's what I did. But I did go back to Amazon and get the Carson Teva. I got 1 Dengar and 2 or 3 Carson Tevas from Amazon. But I got the Callus and Ventress on Pulse. So the price confusion, it wasn't Hasbro's fault, but it was a bit annoying. And when I saw that $24.99, I was like, wow, is this the end of Star Wars Vintage Collection? Because that's such a jump in price. To me, same price. I'm not buying 112 at any price. I think Star Wars collectors are pretty diehard on 375. Yeah. But I just hope that Hasbro doesn't think that, they can just charge us, anything that they want. I mean, yeah. And this wasn't them. It just, all the confusion, it just kind of took a lot of the air out to me, out of me. I was just like, man, what is the issue here? Someone on Amazon, whoever misdid that, typed that in incorrectly, cost them a lot of money. But yeah, it just took away a lot of the goodwill. But such a good showing, really good figures. Um, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. And it seems like we're going to be getting more soon. It seems like they're trying to do these live streams like one a month or so. So maybe here at the end of April or early May, we'll have another one. To be fair, due to certain issues over there, items coming from China will cost more. Possibly. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I'm going to steer clear of that. I don't want to get into any politics or any of that kind of stuff tonight. But it's true. It's true. It's, things are changing. Um, and that's why I wasn't that, I was more disappointed that the prices were all over the place. Um, but Hasbro Pulse kept them at the regular price, so that's that I'll be using them. It's bad news for Entertainment Earth and Big Bad and the other online toy sellers if they're all going to charge $1 or $2 because it's our money, right? Even saving $1 here or $1 there, it all adds up. We're all in it to save money. I hope we don't have to be, but I would think you would if you were given the choice, right? Save $2 right here or not. Most people would choose to save the $2. Too bad about the price. 375 figures are the best they've ever been. Yeah, they are. They are. That's why I didn't mention that I have zero political interest. Yeah, I don't really want to. I've saw a lot of channels on YouTube kind of talking about that stuff, and I don't, I don't want to get into it. But you're right. You're right. Things are going to change. So enough about that. It was a good reveals, good pre-orders. It seems like the vintage collection's on the way up again. I felt this way at the end of last year with the introduction of the creatures, but now again we've got the introduction of that mid-sized vehicle. So they're still adding, to it. And this was some really good character selection. I think. I think. If they're only going to do a couple figures, it's really like 4 figures in a vehicle. If you add Dengar, he's not in this picture. So 5 items, which I didn't think we'd even get this many items, to be honest. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. I announced the rest of the Bad Batch. Yeah, I know. Huh? I know. They're going back to Rebels. And I think that maybe has to do with the Ghost. But there's so many characters that we were missing. There's so many characters. I'm wondering too. I was thinking about this. Is my thoughts too. The Ventress there, you can't really see what's obviously what's under her dress. I'm wondering if those are the Morgan Elsbeth legs because her forearms and hands look a bit like the Morgan Elsbeth figure. So I'm wondering if they leverage the Morgan Elsbeth to Ventress, which would mean that they could leverage her to do more Night Sisters or Mother Talzin or any of those her sister assassins from the Clone Wars. Republic Commandos, yeah, that would be some more great figures. Any predictions? I don't know. They've got a great head sculpt now, but she changes her head, her hairdo and stuff in the other shows. I don't know. I would bet on Ventress having the Morgan legs. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought too. Because you can't see the legs. The legs were really good on Morgan Elsbeth. And I think I have her over here. I'm pretty sure those are her forearms from the elbow down. I'm pretty sure those are Morgan Elsbeth's too. And this is good, again, kind of like the Agent Kallus lower body being an Imperial officer. This is good leveraging. This is good. This is how it's supposed to be done, not some of the other stuff that they've done, using old hips and old ankles and things. My theory is they're not going to do the Republic Commandos until they do Wrecker. That's a good point, because he's a bigger guy, huh? If they do a HasLab Marauder, they would like to give us one of the seasons look. Probably first, general retail. Would be season 2, 3. That's a good point too. They do owe us. We got Hunter in his season 1, didn't we? Yeah, they just need to finish out season 1 at least. But you're right. Maybe that will come with the vehicle, kind of like they did with the Ghost Crew, the season 1, season 2 outfits. But yeah, this is good. This was a really good live stream, really good offering. And I pretty much, I got everything. Not as many as I usually do though. I'm watching, I'm pinching the pennies a little bit, and I didn't get as many. They confirmed next isn't going to be the Marauder. Oh, they did. Although they could be lying. They could be. All right, let's close that. And let's move on now. We're going to leave Star Wars just for a minute. We're going to come back to Star Wars when we take a look at the poll. Haya, where have you been? They announced a new Spock from Strange New Worlds. This looks to be... It looks to be, again, that they're using the buck of the Captain Pike that they've already had for pre-order. Just painted the shirt blue, new head sculpt, new hand, and boom, we've got Spock now. Looks good. I did pre-order one of these. I pre-ordered it directly from the Haya's website, just one. It looks really good. I'm glad to see they're doing more figures, but I have the same commentary that I did last time. You know, where are the females? Where are the aliens? You know, I'm happy with this. Looks really good. It does look like a really good figure. But where's the, you know, they haven't given us the full crew. Well, I think they actually have, right? They've given us the Abrams crew. Scotty, yeah, I think they have, except for the girl, Uhura. They've nearly finished the crew from the Abrams first movie. But it was nice to see this, but I'm not sure what they're doing. Large corporation lying? Surely not. They wouldn't do such a thing, no. Yeah. So I'm happy with this. It looks good. I did pre-order it, but I'm just a little, you know, where's the rest of the stuff? It seems like too, you know, Haya had this about over a year ago, right? They put up a pre-order all these G.I. Joes. It took almost a year to get them. But then when they started to come, man, they were dropping 2, 3 a month. And we seem to have caught back up, and Haya's gone quiet again. But they're still putting items up for pre-order, but they still haven't fulfilled, you know, the past pre-orders. My problem with Haya is that they keep pushing their releases back from Star Trek. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's their timing. Something is up with their factory or their... I really don't know. I know that they have to, you know, you have to keep advertising, you have to keep talking about your products, but they owe us a lot of stuff again. It really slowed down. I don't think I've gotten any Joes this year. I don't think I have. I still have a few I need to open, and a few Star Trek figures I need to open. But they really have slowed down again, and I know they've been pushing the Godzilla stuff a lot. But even those guys, when I read the comments, they're like, where's this Godzilla? And where's this one? And when is it coming? So I think it's the same problem all around. It's a Haya problem. Haya so far seems to go for Trek figures with reusable bodies. Maybe they're going for the quick wins, and we'll circle back to stuff that needs other sculpts. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Because, right, the next logical step would be to give us the other human male officers from Strange New Worlds, right? Because now they've got this new buck that they've used for Pike. They've used it for Spock here. You know, it seems like, okay, now they're going to give us a guy in a red shirt and a guy in a yellow shirt. using this same buck, just like they did with the Abrams movie stuff. And they still haven't really, you know, the little alien guy, the Spock in the winter snow outfit, the bad guy from Nemesis, I forgot his name. All the like sort of odd figures that don't use the same body are the ones that seem to have kind of disappeared and delayed. But we'll see. We'll see. They're good. They're good figures. I like them a lot. It's just taken too long, just like Bob, just like you said. I suspect the next Star Wars HALab may be a modular, given the space issues people are having. Yeah, I'm right there. I'm starting to have those space issues. It's weird, though, as G.I. Joes are all unique sculpts. Maybe they're testing the waters with Star Trek with ones they can reuse bodies easily. Could be it, huh? Outside the Marauder, what other ship or location can they do for a HasLab? You know, what always seems to come up is the, oh my gosh, the Ewoks. That playset, maybe redoing that playset from the 80s, maybe. The Death Star, yeah, that would be the other one. People always talk about the Death Star. But also it feels like Hiya's shifting for whole crew, going to the greatest hits. They already showed Kirk. Yep, they're starting to jump around. Yeah, and I think that's the best strategy. Maybe they have to have some kind of internal, information research. Most have to have been blown up. This is true. The only HasLab that hasn't blown up has been the Cantina. Yeah. So, looks good. We'll see when we get it. I think it says somewhere in here, Q1 of 26. We'll see. I thought it was something from missing floor and all. Yeah, it does. It's missing a floor and a roof, huh? Cantina's due sometime this year, I think. I'd have to look. It's sometime this year, though. They do seem pretty committed to doing the back to Tatooine. We got the vehicle, the speeder with the Duke, with the Luke. Almost said Duke. Luke. I hope we see some new generation. DS9. Yeah, me too. Yeah, there's so much they could do with this line. And you're right. With the G.I. Joes, almost every figure is different. And that's funny, too, because the G.I. Joes, the Army Builders, they haven't released, too. The Alley Viper and the, all the different Cobra Trooper. And those you would think, it's an Army Trooper, it's a builder. I think they would kick those out. They're wearing helmets too, so you can't see their face. Hiya always seems to struggle a little bit with portraits. Is there a stream tonight? I have to say 7 of 9 is a Hiya toy. That would be good. Yeah, 7 of 9. Is there a stream tonight? Just mine, I think. Imagine if they released a runabout. That would be cool. We need a Dewback or Bantha. Yep. That would also fall into the back to Tatooine. All right, sticking with Hiya, and it's come up already. G.I. Joe, Shipwreck. Always loved Shipwreck. Had Shipwreck as a kid. My brother and I used to really like Shipwreck. He was a good character in the story, in the cartoon. So it was nice to see this one. It feels like they went a little bit quiet on G.I. Joe. But here is Shipwreck, and he looks great. He looks really good. Polly looks good. Yeah, it looks like he fits on the rope, huh? Like maybe he plugs into there's maybe a little peg there on his on that rope. Got the anchor, a couple pistols. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Removable hat. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I have been trying to pre-order this one. It hasn't popped up on any of the usual suspects like Locker Toys or Cool Toys. That's who I want to order it from, but I haven't seen it come up yet. Yeah, I think there's a little peg, right there, huh? And then he must have one in his foot. But yeah, looks like a pretty good figure. Oh, okay, it's not a removable hat. It's a removable. Got two heads. Still a shame they're stuck with the OT of Tatooine stuff so much they could have done. Yeah, and hopefully they'll get to it. Hopefully they'll get to it. Their selection's been pretty good lately, but like we just saw, I mean, there was one Rebel figure, one Clone Wars figure, one Empire figure, one New Hope figure. You know, it's going to take so long to fill out a team or a scene from the movie. Just getting one figure a wave, you know, I like the selection, but it means for a really long time to wait to actually fill it out. Very weird. I was in the chat, but the stream never started for me. Huh? That's weird. You're here now, Pirates? I did give you a shout out. Still ashamed of stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm caught up. But yeah, this looks really good. I think I'm gonna grab this one. As soon as I can find someone who's selling it. It just hasn't popped up yet in any of the usual suspects that I usually get my Joes from. Let's see when it says this guy's due. Quarter 126. So same time frame as that Spock. We'll see. We'll see. I don't believe it, to be honest. I mean, none of these I believe. It's so weird is the Hasbro ones are always early. You know, they always hit early. But nearly everyone else, no, that's not true. Joy Toy is like right on time. Joy Toy seems to be right on time. These guys, Hiya, not so much. Not so much. I hate the release schedule. I know. I know. Pirates Galaxy has to happen to me too. You have to hit F5. Oh, to refresh maybe. No, I'm glad you made it, Pirates. Glad you made it. So yeah, the Hiya, it's a bit frustrating, but this is G.I. Joe. You know, I'm in it for the long haul. I've been really happy with all their figures, so you know, just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. All right, now I wasn't going to talk about this, but it kind of came up. You guys have probably saw this on IG. New Superman stuff for the new movie. I'm still waiting for Spirit. Baroness is on her way. Oh, really? You got okay. Yeah, Spirit hasn't come yet. Spirit looked awesome too. Farscape could be a cool IP. Yes, that could be cool. That could be cool. Yeah. You guys probably saw this. I think I'm not sure if you did. It's really hard to see what we've got going on here. There's obviously some McFarlane stuff, some pops. I think this red box right here is like a statue, I think. This is obviously McFarlane. These guys are McFarlane's. Some page punchers maybe right here. Now, what I'm curious about is this figure right here a Spin Master Superman? And is this pack Spin Master Superman? Or are these 5-inch figures? Because this is a 6-inch figure, and that's a page puncher. And this is in between, but it could be a 5-inch figure. As far as I know, Spin Master is going to do a whole line of the Superman movie stuff. And I'm just curious if these are them. It's really hard to see I don't see a Spin Master logo or anything. Army build, Domino Regal. What's Farscape? It's a science fiction show. I think it was only one season though, right? Or I could be wrong. The sci-fi show we did some years ago, late 90s. The Regal Army would be insane and funny. Yeah. So I'm hoping that we're gonna get some Spin Master Superman stuff here. Now I did see this. This was also someone. What's his name here? Toy Wanderer. He's got a Instagram and a Twitter account. This is what he is saying we are gonna get from the Spin Master Superman movie. It looks like a playset, possibly a ship, and it looks like lots of characters. So this could be a really good line. You know, this could be, and it could be Spin Master's last hurrah. But I think the Spin Master figures have gotten better. They're a good price point. They're usually at retail, and they do the vehicles. Fortress of Solitude playset. Yeah, that looks really interesting. Superman versus Kaiju pack. Now, I think, I don't know where Toy Wonder or where he got this, but if we get half of this stuff, I'll be pretty happy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If the figure's 4-inch, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Give us the usual for Superman. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even really familiar with some of these characters here. Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Ultraman, this engineer. I think that's her. I'm not really familiar with those characters, but I want the figure. If anything, they'll be civilians. About 3 a.m. I'm gonna go watch the rest with the replay squad. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, it looks like these are coming out. Have a good night, Ian. If Spin Master does a Superman movie line, I would love to get that Fortress of Solitude. Robots. Oh yeah, from the trailer. Yeah, those look cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's why it was kind of hard in this picture here. This like 4-pack thing, because I see Crypto right there. And it's hard to make out what that is. I guess that could be the robot. I don't know. Or maybe that's that Ultraman guy. I'm not even sure that these are, because if that's a page puncher, yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to tell scale in this picture. But hopefully we get some good stuff. I'll try to make my own with my resin printer. Yeah. I would think. I don't know anything about printing, but I would think that the Fortress of Solitude might be because it's just like a block kind of thing. There's no articulation. It's just a piece, like a set piece. I'm sure someone could make that or print that in pieces, maybe glue it together. But yeah, that's why I thought here at the end, because I'm wrapping this up on the news part here. Let's look at the poll here. What new media would you like most to see the 1/18 scale figures from? And Star Wars 1. So no Thunderbolts, huh? So the reason I chose these here, Fortress of Solitude being easy print. That's what I thought, but I don't print. But in my mind, I'm like, that should be easy because there's no moving parts, but I don't know what I'm talking about. DC movies are doing the same mistake, try to rush a universe. Could be. It could be. Here, let's stop the sharing really quick. So I'm imagining, and that's why I picked these as for you to vote on, because I believe I haven't seen anything for Tron, but we did get Tron vehicles and figures from the last movie. So I'm assuming that they're probably going to do some for this movie, but it looks like we're getting DC Superman figures. I'm imagining we're probably going to get Epic Heroes, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four stuff because we did get the last Guardians movie, X-Men 97, and the last Captain America movie, they all had Epic Hero figures. So I'm imagining these ones will too. And then the Underworld and Andor, like usual, we'll probably get 1 or 2 figures from Andor. Hopefully we'll get some from this Underworld. But I think the chances of getting figures for all of these are pretty high. Tron is the only one I'm a bit unsure of right now. I almost picked Thunderbolts in the poll, but wanted Tron more. Yeah. Yeah, the Tron trailer looks really good. I'm guessing you saw it, Bob. Everyone wants to do a shared universe now. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So that was kind of what I wanted to talk about here at the end, was what figures you most want to see. It looks like Star Wars won. I had a feeling Star Wars would win because that is kind of at 118. Star Wars is sort of the flag bearer of the scale. And I think I would have voted for Star Wars too. I love that light cycle scene. Yeah. Yeah, visually it's stunning. The colors, how the red and everything. Yeah, it looks really good. I guess I can end this poll. How do you do that? There we go. There we go. Yeah, so Tron, it looks like Tron got a couple votes or a vote. But yeah, so Star Wars, Underworld, that was kind of a surprise. It looks like Underworld and Andor actually might be on a week or two at the same time. So we're kind of going, we had Skeleton Crew, we've had this break in between, and now we're going to get a couple more things. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but in my opinion, the Disney Star Wars animation has been much better than the Star Wars live action. And that could be the movies, that could be the Disney Plus shows. The animation's been a bit stronger, I think. A couple seasons of Mando were terrific, but they've since kind of been hit or miss. The animation with the, what was it, the Tales of the Jedi and the Tales of the Sith or whatever, plus this Underworlds, they've all been really, really good. So I'm expecting this Underworlds to be the same. Ventress, Cad Bane, two of the most popular characters. Centering, some adventures around them was a great idea. So I'm really looking forward to it. I like Mando Suit, aka Book of Boba Fett. I did too. A lot of people didn't like Book of Boba Fett. I did. There's little parts of it that I didn't like. The kids riding the bikes, that was not my favorite. But most of it I liked. The latest Tales, yeah, all of the Tales ones have been really good. We need another full run Star Wars cartoon. We do. Yeah, that's a good point. All of these other ones have been, like 8 episodes. It's just not that much, and I don't know why they don't give us a good 24 season, episode season like they were for a while, with all the Clone Wars stuff and even Rebels. The first couple seasons were, I think, in the 18, range. I heard Acolyte's being renewed. I haven't heard that. I'd be surprised. I like some of the Visions characters. Yeah, I did see. I think Black Series got one, I think. So I guess it's possible for Vintage Collection. So I can announce a full series at Celebration. Okay, there you go. There was a question earlier, I think from Bjorn or Ian, with speculating, what do you think they're going to announce at Celebration? So there you go. That would be cool. That would be cool. All right, guys. So is there anything else? We're just coming up to an hour. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or I could pull up on the screen here? Let me close a couple of these windows. They might slow me down a little bit. There we go. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I've enjoyed all the Star Wars. It's like pizza. Even when it's not the best, I still enjoy it. Yeah, I do try to keep that attitude as well. And like Acolyte, for example, I tried to, I really like the figures, but the show, but there were scenes here and there that I thought that I liked. Not enough for me to go back and rewatch it. I have seen the Book of Boba Fett a couple times, and I think I have the Blu-ray. What else? I like the Ahsoka too. I like the Ahsoka. It just peaked. I thought it peaked a little bit too soon. Apparently, you have not tasted school pizza. Yeah. I think at my school, the school pizza was actually all right. The fight choreography in Acolyte was great. I thought it was pretty good too. It was a bit, I mentioned this before, I thought it was a bit like the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It was very, where they're kind of like not slow motion, although there was that one slow motion scene. It was very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I don't know, like very samurai kind of a look. Wire food. Oh yeah, like they had them on wires. Yeah, worst character of that series was the Weasel Tracker. I didn't love the floatiness in some of the scenes. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It didn't bother me at first, but when I tried to rewatch it, it didn't look that good the second time. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that's the stream for tonight. Let's see. Let me double check here. Yeah, I think that's the stream for tonight. I think I covered everything. Just wasn't that much news, not as much as last time. Hopefully there will be in 2 weeks. We'll circle back around. Keep an eye on the channel. I think like I said, I'm going to try to do a couple videos. It might be a bit difficult this week because, like I mentioned, my mother-in-law is here right now. I'm always a little embarrassed. I don't know about you guys. I'm a little embarrassed sometimes. Like they're not here right now. They went out to eat or something. But I was like, I'm going to do this live stream tonight on action figures and stuff. And I, wanted to make sure, because I do get a little bit embarrassed. I have no problem talking to you guys about it because you guys are action figure people just like me. But to an older person, it's a little bit, I had to kind of humble pie a little bit. Like, I really love action figures. I'm going to talk about it online with some friends, and hope you don't mind if I kind of leave the room. And they say, oh, no, we're going to go out. And so I thought, great. But thank you, Bob. Thank you. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for watching all the videos and commenting. And if you ever want to chat, just hit me up on Instagram or leave a comment here below, and I'll make sure I answer it. And I think that's it. All right. You guys have a good night. Have a good 2 weeks. And we'll talk again. So keep collecting your 118, 375. And I'll see you in a while. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.